The homeless are out muscled at a park here. You're looking at law enforcement agents that are clearing a homeless encampment. Now, this happens to be in Toronto, Canada, but we've reported on this many, many times here. It's happening throughout the world, even here in the United States, which is supposedly the world's richest nation, where we have CEOs literally flying into space, but yet 1 in 6 renters now are behind on their rent, even during what's being called an amazing economic recovery. While scenes like this are likely going to become a lot more common worldwide, and yes, even here in the United States, we're going to see more of homeless encampments like this being cleared out by law enforcement agents. Hey everybody, you're watching Bull Boom Bear Bust. It is August 3rd, Tuesday, 2021. Thank you for joining me. Back today with another dose of economic reality. Now, I really do not enjoy reporting on themes like this, on situations like this, but when things continue to get worse and you're seeing a trend of bad things happen, in this case homelessness, and now we have the eviction moratorium, we definitely need to talk about it, because I feel like that anyone with the right situation or circumstance could be put in the situation where you just can't pay your rent. Even homeowners, if you can't pay your property taxes, you could have your home free and clear paid off. I actually know someone here in California in 2020 that bought a home. Their taxes are almost $700 a month, just their taxes. And they have a mortgage. But even people that have paid off their mortgage, if you have taxes that are that high, unless you have a steady income stream or just a huge amount of savings, you could find yourself in trouble very quickly, even as a homeowner. But currently, it's about 1 in 6 people in the United States that are behind on their rent. So let's talk about what else is happening. And we'll talk more about that park incident in Toronto in just a few minutes here. Let's move on to this article right here. It looks like one of the biggest infrastructure projects in the United States is going to have to be the building of more prisons, as we see articles like this. This is out of Lafayette, Indiana. As eviction moratorium ends, Lafayette police plan panhandling crackdown. Now, they're already arresting people. And actually, quick correction, this looks like Lafayette, Louisiana. I think there is a Lafayette in Indiana. But regardless, we're going to see more situations like this where they're going to have to crack down on people for panhandling and begging, especially with so many more people about to be evicted and put onto the streets. You're going to see more panhandlers, more beggars, and cities are going to begin cracking down on these people. Just this article right here talks about over 20 people that were arrested because of panhandling, because of begging for money. So yes, it looks like we're going to need more prisons here in the United States. Maybe that could be the big job creator for the current administration, is to have more people involved in the construction of more prisons to house all these homeless people. Not a joke. It's a pretty sad situation. And it's interesting that we have unlimited trillions of dollars for the banking system that could be created out of thin air. The Fed has vowed to prop up the banks no matter what, to be there for the markets no matter what. But many people are asking, if we can create unlimited amounts of money out of thin air, why do we have a housing shortage? Other people would argue that this is capitalism. This is what happens. You don't pay your rent. You don't have a place to live. That's life. Okay, and I know many people here on this channel have opposite sides of this argument here and opposite views. But I think it is important to look at what's going on here and acknowledge the bad things that are happening here in the United States, because it's spreading. If it wasn't spreading, if it was getting fixed or getting better, it wouldn't be as bad, or it wouldn't be as important, in my opinion. But when it's spreading, that means that a lot of us today may be in this boat someday. Maybe even myself, maybe even some listeners here on this channel, could find yourself at some point without a roof over your head. Excerpt from this article, quote, "New anti-panhandling signs that have been recently placed throughout Lafayette are very concerning. People are in need," the organization wrote after the signs were erected in June. And as we reported at the beginning of this video, it's not just in the United States. 26 arrested up in Canada, Toronto's Lamport Stadium Park, as city police clear encampment, and the police came in to this homeless encampment and physically removed the homeless people. And we reported on this a few months ago, I think in LA. It was one of the parks up there in Los Angeles that had to be cleared out and the tents torn down. Now, in this situation, the police had to use strong armed tactics as the homeless people did not vacate as they were asked to leave the park. And we saw this type of scene play out right here at this park in Toronto. Excerpt from this article from this park here in Toronto, Canada, quote, "At the height of the confrontation, officers could be seen rushing to push up against a metal barrier as they came face to face with demonstrators. At least one person appeared to have jumped the fence and was seen arrested by police. Nearby police could be seen tearing down a makeshift barrier of wooden pallets before several people were led away in handcuffs," unquote. Now, this was a combination of protesters, activists, and then actually some homeless people getting arrested for not listening to the vacate orders. Now, here in the U.S., some lawmakers are concerned that we may see similar things happen with the expiration of this eviction moratorium. And in this case, we even had some representatives sleeping outside of the Capitol to protest the end of the eviction freeze. And we have one representative in particular named Cori Bush who had been evicted at some point. She said she knows what it's like. And this representative, Miss Bush, tweeted out the following. It's 1 a.m. Our solidarity is strong and our numbers are growing. Millions are at risk of being removed from their homes, and a Democratic-controlled government has the power to stop it. Extend the eviction moratorium now. Again, we're going to see mixed thoughts on this. Some people say this is life. Nothing is free. No one should live for free. Other people say, again, we're the world's richest country. We're putting CEOs into outer space. They're printing endless amounts of money out of thin air to support the banks, to keep the banking system propped up, to keep the banks liquid, to keep loaning money, to keep putting people in debt. Right? So you've got to see both sides of the argument here. I can definitely see both sides. Is there a common ground? Is there something that can be done in the middle where everyone can agree? All right, I agree that it's very strange and very, sad, and it doesn't seem right to know that they can create unlimited amounts of money out of thin air in digital form, trillions of dollars at the push of a button. We've seen trillion-dollar repo operations happening at these banks. We've seen support for the banking system now blow way beyond what we saw in the 2008 financial crisis, where we had to have the bailouts back then. Well, what we're seeing now in the last just couple years is many, many times more, many, many times higher than what we saw during the financial crisis. And I'm not saying here that everyone should live for free, but even when your home is paid off, you could possibly lose your home. What if you get sick? What if you have to go to the hospital for a year or two and you can't pay your taxes? You're going to come back and you're going to have no place to live because your home is going to get taken. So it's sad, but I fully expect to see more situations like this, as we're going to see more people having to resort to living in parks and other non-conventional living situations. And actually, what you see as far as the homeless population in the parks and on the streets, what you see is actually just a fraction of what's happening. A lot of people are living in their cars. A lot of people are buying RVs and campers to live in. So we can see things getting worse, not better, maybe better for some people in certain occupations. Of course, the lawmakers, they're not worried about losing their homes. They're actually having about a 2-month vacation coming up. I believe it's about 7 weeks, actually, 7-week vacation for a lot of these lawmakers coming up here in the near future. So no, certain groups are not worried about losing their home, but a majority of the population is moving more towards something like this, being closer to reality, getting kicked out of your home. And it goes from getting kicked out of your home to getting kicked out of the park, maybe getting arrested, and maybe getting put into your new home, which may be a prison. Gotta love America, folks. And can you see why many people may not be so proud of being American? Land of the free, home of the debt slaves. Thanks everybody for watching this report. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared, keep stacking. Bye for now. Peace.